Hi, this is Joseph. In this video, I'm going to answer a question that comes up pretty regularly, especially on a day like today. So at the time that I'm making this recording, it is August 27th. We're looking at the euro dollar. This is a 1 hour time frame, and you can see right here the last 5 or 6 candles. There was quite a bit of volatility here as a result of Powell's statements. The question is, do I trade news events with the trade copier? And I think that that's a really valid, very important consideration that all of my trade copier subscribers should be aware of, or should be wondering, do I trade news events the split second that the news is released? And it is true that you can make a lot of money if you happen to be on the right side of a trade, but you can also wipe out your entire trading account if you're wrong. Brokers, in some cases, are preventing orders to be executed in the platform a few minutes before economic events, and then they won't release that hold. They shut down the data that's going through your MT4 account. Some brokers will let you trade about 5 minutes after the news is released. Other brokers will hang on to the trade and they'll freeze the data for about 15 minutes. It really depends on the broker. There's so many brokers out there. So what I do is, very often I wait 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes about 15 minutes after the news is made available. And what that also does is it gives me an opportunity to see how the market's reacting to the news. Even though I may know, or I may have some expectations because I have enough experience to trade these news events, and I have a pretty good idea of where price is going to go in either direction. I look at the different possibilities before the news is released based on previous data and where we are at the time. So even though I know, or I might have a pretty good idea of where price is going, and I may be able to execute a trade and get a good fill, the subscribers who use my trade copier, they may not get the same fill. They may be using a broker that is, like I said, notorious for manipulating the behavior of some of their clients, and they do that to take their money. Some of them are out there. A lot of brokers out there, that's just the way they play. So you may not get, or some of my subscribers may not get the same fill. Even today, there are some brokers that freeze the price feed going into your MT4 platform. They do that to prevent their clients from executing trades before and shortly after the news is released, because they're trying to protect, some of the brokers out there are trying to protect their clients, because you can lose money. You can blow up your account in like minutes. So that's why they do it. And again, if I was to execute a trade right after the news was released, I may get a good fill. I may be able to control exactly what I'm doing on my platform, but it isn't necessarily going to translate into the same behavior for a lot of my trade copier subscribers, for all of these different reasons that I just described. So that's why, and you've probably heard me say this before in some of the other videos, not all news events are something that I can actually participate in with the trade copier. Because again, I can see that some of the brokers are freezing the data, preventing some of their clients from getting the trades. If I was to execute a trade, some of my subscribers will get the trade, some of them won't. Some of my subscribers might get the same fill that I do, others may not. So you can see that I wouldn't be able to control the outcome. And I need to control the outcome. It's my responsibility, with my 19, almost 20 years experience as a trader, to understand the implications and the possibilities and the outcomes. I not only have to take these trades and execute them correctly and earn profits for my subscribers, I also have to manage and control the losses on a bad trade. And I have to earn those losses back. And I also have to avoid situations where I know there could be a lot of potential damage that could occur. Even though it wouldn't be a bad trade, it could be something that the brokers could do to clients, which could affect my subscribers in a negative way. So I have to control the outcomes. I have to control what's going on, and I have to protect my subscribers, even around news events. That is one of the reasons why around news events, I trade news events, but I do it in a very specific way. As I mentioned many times, I execute and find most of my setups on an intraday basis. I find those trades based on a 30-minute time frame or a 1 hour chart for intraday trading. And that is fine. For example, non-farm payrolls, it's released at 8:30 New York time. So if I'm using a 1 hour candle pattern, a 1 hour chart, I simply wait until that candle closes at 9 o'clock, and then I assess the conditions. One particular strategy that I like to use trading around non-farm payrolls is a breakout strategy, even though I don't get them all the time with non-farm payrolls. But when it happens, it could be a breakout, and that could lead to about a 55 pip take profit trade. I mean, it would lead to about 55 pips. So I have to wait for that 1 hour candle to close. So that's why I have these rules in place that help me avoid potential head fakes, negative impacts or negative situations that could arise with trading around the news. Again, things that are nobody has any control over it other than your broker at that particular time around news events. So I want you to know that if you use the trade copier, not only am I going to do my best to find you the best trades that are profitable, I'm also going to minimize any trades that are not good trades. I'm going to minimize them and keep the losses very, very small. But I'm also going to use the experience that I have to protect you from broker manipulation as often as I possibly can and around certain news events. So we didn't experience any losses, and you can see just how volatile today it really was. So when we watched this move here this morning, I mentioned to my subscribers, my trade copier subscribers, that it wouldn't surprise me to see this rally to the upside here on the euro dollar reverse and come back down about 180 degrees the opposite direction. And that's exactly what happened. So you have to be really careful trading around the news. I trade safely, I trade consistently, and that's what's going to help you build up your trading account over the long term. Thanks for watching this video.